Good afternoon, everybody. Glad to see everyone. Appreciate y'all being here. Um, just, after, what are we, 7, 8 games into the season now, just trying to get better, work hard every day, not be complacent, not be satisfied, which is really hard sometimes with young people. But just trying to maybe digest what you've done so far and then try to put your head down and go to work. And got a heck of a team coming in here tomorrow night in Marquette. Them and Texas, without question, the two best teams we probably will have seen all year to date. Texas, they're so talented, well coached. Coach Aston, have so much respect for her and her staff. I was just so proud that day of how we played on the road at one of the storied programs in the history of our game. I mean, really, when you walk in that facility and you look at the banners and you look at the success, I mean, it's just one of the top 3 or 4 storied programs in the history of women's college basketball. So for us to go in there and play the way we did, again, against a well-coached, very talented team, I was extremely pleased on Sunday walking out of the drum headed home. But, Monday's a new day. Tuesday's a new day. You got to get ready for a really, really special Marquette team. Again, another well-coached team, play extremely hard, very athletic, and boy, can they shoot it. They're offensive. They're just so offensive, 87 points a game. You've got some concerns on the floor matchup-wise, and so, I thought we had a fairly good practice yesterday, but we'll need to have another good day today to get ready for a top 20, opponent who's played well, dominated their opponents. I think Miami scored the last 8 points of the game to beat them down at Miami. Otherwise, that game could have gone a different way. So we've got our work cut out for us. Reading day Thursday, got some distractions right now this time of year with finals. And again, just the distraction of being young and everybody patting you on the back, telling you you're the next best thing since sliced bread, when really we haven't done anything yet. We've not done anything. And that complacency thing really it always concerns me as a coach, just people being satisfied, because and it's so easy. It's the way of the world a lot of times. And so, again, we've been the highest, we've been the higher ranked team in every game we've played. So all we've done is what we're supposed to do. And but conveying that to kids, you never know who they're talking to or who's telling them what, who's patting them on the back, who's telling them. It's just hard to control. And my concern always is just staying humble and staying hungry. And that's what I remind these kids about every day. Focus on the task at hand, focus on the process, not the result. Let's focus on the process every day. These two obviously are playing at a really high level right now, T and Chloe. Both shooting the ball, T shooting at 71%. And you think about it, and she will, and I'll tell her again today, you think about the ones she's missed and then gets her own rebound and stickbacks. She could be, in the 80s, coming off of being Player of the Week, setting the record here at Mississippi State. And let me tell you, they've had some great players here, setting the rebounding record 8 games in her senior year. And so just really, really proud of her, proud of her accomplishments. But again, I would hope she would say what I'm fixing to say, and that is it's not an individual sport. This is a team game. It takes everybody to do their job every night. And that's what I coach against. I coach against the ghost. I coach against that night when somebody doesn't have their A game or somebody isn't, playing well. Can I get them out of that? Can I get them to play well? Can they help themselves get out of playing that way? And then our bench becomes really, really valuable and really important. And I do like my bench right now, even though they're young. I love their work ethic and how they go about it. Chloe's shooting the ball, playing at a really high level. But again, I talked to her today. While she's just a sophomore, I look at Chloe a little differently. She's got so much international experience. You know, she moved out of the house at a really young age, sophomore in high school, I think. Moved to the city away from mom and dad, and so she's a little bit. You know, I expect a little more from her from a maturity and a leadership standpoint. One of our quotes the other day was, you know, leadership has nothing to do with being a captain, has nothing to do with being a senior. And I want her to know, I want her to rely on her more in that capacity because I think she has more to give there. So that being said, that's a lot. You probably don't have any questions now. I've answered them all. But you just have a lot of concern, a lot of respect for the opponent we're going to play tomorrow night, and those players and that staff, because I think they're really talented. You're talking about the Big East champion with 5 returning starters, a senior-laden ball club, and we're going to have to play really well.
Chloe, I think you played almost the entire game. You played more minutes than anybody. What do you think that says about his trust in you as a player and how you developed? I know we talked a little bit about putting a little bit of more of an emphasis on you knocking down shots and things like that. But so I guess what does it say about your development and what he sees in you?
I think if I'm doing my job out there and you know, I'm getting things done, you know, playing a little bit of defense where I can, he's developed that trust in me. You know, that's from practice, and then, you know, I have to show that in the game. And obviously I was doing the right thing in Texas. I was just trying to, you know, do everything I could, play hard, just so we could get that win. Yeah.
Tara, what does it mean to you to set that rebounding record? Is that something that you could have even imagined, you know, when you came here as a freshman?
No, I didn't really think I could break any records when I came in as a freshman. But I mean, over the years, we've developed. They've developed me and got me to being the best I can. So I mean, it's an honor.
Before the season started, you were worried about your defense. You go and hold Virginia to less than 50. Just held Texas to less than 50. Is your defense surprising you? Is it better than you thought it was going to be?
No, I don't. I still have concerns there. I mean, so last night I'm in the office late, I'm working, and I'm thinking, gosh, we just really were good in ball screen defense and in taking away high-low. And we were really special. So my thoughts go to, are we going to be on point? Are we going to be interested every night to do that? You know, is T, because T was a big part of all what I just said, is she interested because we were in Austin and she's 30 miles from the house, so she plays a little extra hard that night? Or is that what I can count on from my senior All-American? Well, the answer is that, I hope. Is Chloe good right now, but at some point going to hit a wall or run into somebody better and not going to be up to the challenge? Jazz was special Sunday. Best game she's ever played in her career here. Can I count on that night in and night out, or is that just because we were on the road at number 10 and our focus was our antennas were up? These are the things that I worry about as a coach. I see glimpses. Sunday was a glimpse. I'd like to, 63 points we gave up to UALR. I didn't like that. I didn't like a lot of the easy stuff we gave up to them. And so I think defensively we've shown promise. At the same time, I think we got a lot of work to do there. Chloe has gotten better. Is she as good as she's ever going to be? No. But that's my job to get it out of her. And so, these are the things defensively. I think we can be a lot better. But are we better now than we were 2 weeks ago? Absolutely. No question. Again, we work at it really hard. These girls will tell you we work every day on it for hours. It's a big part of our practice, and it's important.
When you have teams that are doing everything they can to keep you out of line, keep you away from the ball, what are some things you're doing now at this stage of your career to beat them, to get a position for those rebounds?
Not letting them jack me up to like where I want to go. So get into my spot and not posting on where they want me to post, which is outside of the lane, or jacking me up at the 3-point line.
Is it working most of the time? I mean, statistically, it seems to. Are you satisfied
I'm never satisfied. I feel like I could be better, I guess.
So she's at 18.6 and 11.8 right now rebounds. And last year for the season, she was at 18 and 14. So, I will use that with her and go, look, we think we're playing well, but I think there's a little more in there. Obviously, last year, when the season was over, it was 18 and 14 in the NCAA tournament. It was something off the chart. It was like 20 and 18, something like that. Well, why do we have to wait till the NCAA tournament against the 6 best teams in the country? Why can't we do that now consistently? And she knows. I mean, she'd tell you, I'm constantly hollering at her in games. I'm constantly trying to get her to do certain things that maybe she doesn't do. And I think, again, that's only going to get her, number one, allow us to be successful. 2, allow her to be successful. Number 3, it's what's going to make her be a great player, not only this year, but beyond.
Tierra, would you have understood that maybe 2 years ago when you're doing well and the coach is yelling at you to do better?
No, not at all. I probably would tell you, like, why is he yelling at me? Like, I'm doing good.
How worried are you about the experience that this team has with 5 starters? Obviously, you dealt with that last year with your team. You had a veteran squad. Those girls have won a championship as well.
Yeah, they're guard heavy and really all can shoot it. I mean, you're talking about a team that makes 10 threes a game. They're shooting almost 38% from 3, and they spread you out at every position, and so I'm very worried. I think their chemistry is outstanding. Again, I think this is a team that's going to probably win the Big East again, and certainly be in the top 2. And they're well coached. I mean, just extreme. Play really hard, and so it's. I'm very worried. I'm very concerned about it. Again, I'm not only worried about how good they are. I'm worried about my team and our are we complacent? Are we satisfied? Are we walking around patting ourselves on the back? Are we letting our guard down? Again, I think I just mentioned 2 things that as a combination, boy, that's a bad recipe. Can make for a long night. And, these kids will both tell you, I don't like playing bad, and I sure don't like playing bad at home. And so I'm constantly coaching against that every day just to make sure we're humble and we're hungry. Hey, we won some games, big deal. All we've done is held serve. We still got to keep going. We're fixing to play at home. She's only got X number of games left at home. By gosh, we want to play well. We want to take care of home court. We want to win, but we want to play well. That's the thing. I want to play well every night. I want to play like we played on both ends the other day.
Chloe, obviously 3-point shooting is a huge part of your game. Your percentage is way up this year. What would you say has gone into the way you shot the ball this year, and how sustainable do you think it is to keep shooting at the rate that you are shooting at?
I mean, it's just reps and taking the right shots. It's all about really shot selection. I've got to make sure I'm constantly moving on the outside because I know my teammates are going to find me. And then, we need to make shots. That's what it is. We're so good inside with T and Riel down there. So, if we get a kick out and I'm wide open, I need to make that shot. So I'm just staying in the gym and trying to keep that percentage up.
And her rebounding's, she's rebounding it really well as well, 5 a game. And she only had a couple the other day at Texas, but sometimes games are going to be like that. And when you got T and Riel down there, it's hard to get one. And I think that's the thing that's encouraging is while T and them are down there, she's had games where she had 7, 8, and she's averaging 5. And I really need her to stay in that range. I need her to stay in that 5, 6 a game because it takes a little bit of pressure off the other 2.
Not to jinx anything, but you've got 8 games in without fouling out, and your average fouls per game, yes, but your average fouls per game too seems to be way down. Are you more careful in there? Are you playing smarter in there?
Yes, I'm playing smart, and he always says, you get your first, okay, you get your second, then, that's not what all Americans do. So sometimes I take that in consideration and just be smarter.
Is that what you tell our coach?
Yeah, I mean, T gets in trouble because she's trying to help her teammates a lot of times. her fouls very rarely are just her dealing with one-on-one defense. It's always her coming to help. And, she's got to make some better decisions. I've got to teach her better to get in better position. A lot of times she's a half a step away from being right. And so I've got to keep working with her on teaching her how to do it the way I want it done, and instead of being a half a step late. And then again, once you get you get one early, like she did at Texas the other night, gotta be smart. Her second one at Texas was what I'd be considered not being smart. She could have still impacted that play, but not put herself in that position where you look like you're trying not to foul as you foul. And so, those are the things where I just think she's continuing to grow and learn. And again, I'm gonna coach her till she walks across the stage and graduates. And that's just, she knows that, and we'll continue to get better in that area. But a lot of times, to her credit, she gets in foul trouble sometimes because she's a helper. Well, you know what? Those guards got to do a better job keeping the ball in front of them. You're putting your teammate in a position where, she can fail, and we don't need to do that. So there's lots of variables that go into it, but at the end of the day, I want T to be the same great helper she is, the same great defensive player she is. I mean, you don't be National Defensive Player of the Year because you don't know what you're doing, but she tries to do too much sometimes, just trying to help her teammates because she's a good teammate down there.
Time for one or two more, guys.
All right. Praise the Lord and go Dogs. Thank y'all for being here.